Today in the crypto space, we're seeing some green price action. Bitcoin doing very well, right around $125,500, hitting price discovery once again. Ethereum doing awesome, $4,700, up approximately 5%, while the rest of the crypto space, these altcoins are deep in the green. BNB, Cardano, Polkadot, HBAR, many projects right now reaching much higher levels. In today's video, I want to talk about the general market. I want to use Bitcoin as a leading indicator, but more importantly, I want to talk about a project, an OG in this space, the OGs of gaming, GALA Games. So you know what? Let's talk about the news, let's analyze the charts, and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome. On the channel, we talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins. Looking for opportunity, whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter. All we want to do is stay one step ahead of the market so that we can capitalize on any of the volatility. And if you appreciate the strategy, subscribe to the channel, click the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, including the live streams at 8 p.m. EST, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Guys, if you have any projects you want me to cover on the channel, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. You can hit me up on the socials. The links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. All right, guys, let's begin. Let's see what's going on here with the market. Guys, today I want to talk about GALA Games. I know it's an OG. I know gaming has been on a bit of a slump. But if we are going to get a comeback here in the sector, in the gaming, narrative, maybe GALA Games would be the ideal project to see some capital flow into first, and to just go back and kind of get full circle and to see what GALA Games is up to and if it's worthy of our attention. As you know, what I have been doing the last little while, it's slowly going down the market cap. We ended up right into this level, right around the $700 million, $800 million market cap, and you can see there are some good projects right in this range. And I happened to land upon GALA. I was like, you know what? I kind of like what the structure looks like. I know that GALA, part of gaming, could be undervalued at the current moment. Maybe we want to front run and get ahead. I'm wondering what the chart looks like. I'm wondering what the team has been cooking, if they've been active or not. So we'll take a look. And guys, you can see there's some other ones like IOTA, an OG. Theta Network, OG, Tezos, OG, CFX, newer, but definitely buzzing in the last little while. Let me know in the comment section below if you want me to cover any of these within this range, because I think that this range has a lot of upside potential still. Of course, right around the $800 million market cap, it's very possible that a lot of these projects do a 5x or something like that. So it's very good level to be at, to have some exposure to volatility, but at the same time, get into that scenario where you can buy bottom levels. So a lot of these projects are OGs in this space. Before we get into the GALA Games scenario, let's take a quick look at what's been happening in the market today. We see that the market cap has been rising, which is nice. We're at $4.4 trillion. We broke out for another move, up 3%, which is great. More importantly, guys, is the trading volume. We got market participation backing this move to the upside. I'm hoping that we can get some more market participation. Essentially, getting retail involved would be very bullish. And as you can see, Bitcoin keeps on knocking at higher highs and higher lows. And, the trend is your friend. And, price discovery is obviously here. And Bitcoin hitting an extension levels around the corner. You get my point. Ultimately, Bitcoin's looking very good. Ethereum as well. Guys, breaking out. Also today, we talked about Ethereum. Guys, on the Discord. Guys, I was on the Discord the whole day long. Myself, Lovable, Razin, the BTD crypto team is definitely looking at all of what's going on here, in this space, and trying to stay one step ahead is the only way we're going to do it. And right now we're seeing Ethereum show us the way that, risk on assets are probably, going to move very soon. So be prepared. Make sure you have those bags packed, because at any moment we start moving, and then it's, the train leaves the station, and it's going to be really hard to find those entries. BNB, for example, up another 6% today. Guys, what a great performer for BNB at $1,200 a unit. We were, contemplating on whether BNB was going to hit 1,000, guys. It flew right through it, which is great. Solana's doing awesome. A little consolidation here, some sideways price action before continuation. But I do definitely want to look at the general landscape. Look at all these fractals. The trend is your friend. A lot of them, even Cardano, nice double bottom, break of those tops. There's no doubt in my mind that a project like Cardano will break for a higher high. But Doge is already doing it. Solana's gearing up for that as well. Just note that Solana already performed very well, so I'm not sure if it has, how much more it has left into it. A few X is possible, no doubt, but Cardano's still at the bottom of the range type of thing. Relatively speaking, it hasn't really gotten its expansion yet. And a lot of other projects as well, like Chainlink, look at this, guys, broke out higher high. Sideways price action, higher high. The trend is your friend. Now, let's see how high we go here. And many others. Sui, nice and quiet, guys. We've calm before the storm. Let it pump, let it break out, let it move. It's going to move any moment. AVAX taking a bit of a break in the last couple of weeks, going sideways here. If it breaks the highs, guys, the trend is your friend. That's a break of structure. Let's continue moving, right? You can see a lot of altcoins are doing the very similar thing. Mantle, guys, that thing took off and it left me behind. That's all good. No FOMO there. But generally, guys, look at this thing up 26% for the last 7 days. And the rest of the crypto space is doing a very similar thing. Look at Aave. Uniswap's looking for a breakout. We have many others, guys. Near protocols looking primed, looking amazing, guys. Consistently making nice 3% moves like this add up, right? We have to understand, and we're waiting for Near Protocol to break out, and it's looking for a breakout any moment now. Just a bit of patience there. BitTensor broke out, guys. It broke out 11%. Amazing. Aster has been doing great. It did pull back, but you can see that still doing very good. On those looking for a breakout, guys, this market is hot right now. I know it's only on average up approximately 5% today. I get it. But the reality is the structure. It's what it's doing and when it's doing it that is so lucrative right now. Ethereum reaching higher levels and potentially getting into price discovery is going to give us the green light for an altcoin season that gets really parabolic here. Okay, so just understand that we're early, guys, and take advantage of these opportunities. We have a lot of good gainers, even Caspa getting a nice bounce. Obviously, 7.5% is great, especially after Caspa looking a little weak there and a little bit slumpy. So we got to celebrate that one. Obviously, we want all projects to do well, right? Even Caspa. The thing is that Caspa right now is struggling at its bottom. So we got to make sure that, it holds up and gives us all the indications for a continuation to the upside. As you can see right now, the market is looking great. And as you go lower into the market caps and even start looking at, the hotter projects, the Hemis, the even the Astras and many others, guys, even many others. There's so many. The XPLs right now are looking great. So many good opportunities, guys. And join the Discord because we're talking about these setups all day long. 00 doing great. And many good projects at the current moment. And today, as you know, I want to talk about GALA Games, and I'm going through the market cap, slowly scrolling down. And again, if you want me to cover some of these OGs right into here, let me know in the chat if those interest you. I was thinking about a bit of getting to or making a video on Theta, given the fact that Theta and I go way back. Theta was one of those major players in my portfolio in previous cycle. So for me, that a bit of nostalgia. But again, let me know what you think. CFX is another one that I have on my watch list. But really, today's about GALA. Like, are we going to get a gaming resurgence? Based on what GALA is. Ultimately, GALA is a gaming project, a gaming studio. It falls in the gaming sector, obviously. It is right around $760 million market cap. You can see the max supply is 50 million, right? So 50 billion tokens, that's quite a bit. But you can see that the circulating supply is right up there. So what I'm trying to say is market cap and fully diluted evaluation. You can see there's not many tokens that are ready to come out, right? There's no more tokens, which means the risk of dilution is no longer there. The sell pressure is already done. There's no more. So if you look at here, that doesn't give you the percentage, but it's all in circulation, which is healthy. And there's a defined max supply. It's not like it's unlimited. So there's a scenario where now we say, okay, tokenomics are decent because everything's in distribution. As long as wallet distribution is good as far as tokens go, as long as that's nice and healthy, and we see tokens distributed across many wallets, that's what we want. But ultimately, guys, floor price achieved, as you can see. Looking pretty good. Let's see what GALA is doing on socials. GALA Games built without limits. One of the OGs in the gaming space. I just want to make that clear. It's been around last cycle and it did very well last cycle. As you can see, that huge pump. Let's give them a follow, see what they're going on there. They have almost 800,000 followers, which is obviously great to see. GALA Games pinned comment through a monumental partnerships with Play Shrapnel, which is another gaming project, secures access to China's trusted copyright chain. Very interesting. Okay, so China's big market, as you guys know. Vexy Villages. This is a game. I'm assuming. Let's keep on going down. This October, the Gala Games ecosystem is summoning the spirits for a connected Halloween celebration like never before. Step into Town Star, Vexy Villages, Mirandis, Championship Arena, and whatever another one, Eternal Paradox, as the haunt and howl unfolds. Pretty cool, a bit festive, nice social engagement, social media. Let's give them a like. That's great. I like to see that kind of stuff. It's the way that's what rallies up a community. Gala Music, take it beyond the leagues. Your backstage pass to fame, rare track pack. Okay, so they got a bit of that music scenario. I forgot that they got into this, which is great. Sometimes it's nice to come full circle and reminisce and get back to the older projects to see what they've been cooking throughout the bear market. And I'm glad to see that this is still lingering around. Town Star update. So they got games. Remember, this is a gaming studio, so they got different games, and all it takes is one of their games to pick up and do well, and then all of a sudden Gala Games price just starts to move, right? So this is what we have to understand, is that we're not betting on one individual game. We're betting on a studio that produces many games, and that's a form of diversification and risk management in itself, if you think about it. So from September 25th onwards to about the 29th, okay, this is done, so there's no point. Mirandis, this looks pretty cool, to be honest. Gala Games, some more happening here. They're talking about their different games here. Happy Thursday, any good pairs to swap? That's that, and some other good stuff here for Gala Games. So it's nice to see Gala still here. The Vexy Villages. I can find this is pretty cool. I'm just happy to see that they're still here with posting and good engagement on their posts and so on and so forth. All right, guys, I know you're here to talk about price action, so let's begin. Let's see what they got going on in the chart, because the better question is, are we buying some value? Where are we buying? We always buy from a position of strength, and ultimately the question is this the position of strength? Let's take a look at this in a little bit more detail. I know some of you listening right now are probably saying, Mike, why are you covering Gala Games? Out of all projects right now, gaming is not even that interesting. Nothing is pumping. Well, the truth is this is when you should be, reflecting on possibility, because once it starts to pump, it's too late. That's the truth. And this is a great chart for that concept. Guys, I don't know how much lower we're going to go. If we go any lower here, guys, it's going to get into the abyss. It's going to fall into the black abyss of price action. And obviously that's clear, right? That's very, very clear. We're range lows as low as you can get it, even below the point of control. I'm not even touching the chart. Just look at this. Ultimately, you know that you could put a stop loss right on the range lows and call it a day, right? Very easy risk management. Let's do that right now. Let's put a horizontal and just say, look, invalidation, let's make it thick. Let's make it important. Look at that. If it breaks below there, get out. However, look where you're buying. You're buying so close to that level. And ultimately, okay, we can put some more points of interest. I'm interested in this level, right? Let's make it thinner. It's not that important. But I'm interested in that. But that's a breakout zone for me. That's where I look at volume kind of diminishing significantly to the point that it becomes an imbalance in the chart where there's not much market participation. And you can see the majority of it lies between right into here. There's a huge empty gap. So what I'm going to do, something that I don't do very often, is do one of these. Let me show you how I set this up visually. I'm going to put this in right here for now. I feel like what I need to do is then identify the top of this range, just right into here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to double down on the box, and I'm going to say, well, although this does diminish, and I'm interested in this potential breakout area, it does diminish, but the majority of the weakness actually lies right in between here. And I would say anywhere between this level is fairly weak. I could go even a little bit lower and kind of like compound this and just say, ultimately, yeah, even a little bit lower, right into here. Guys, we break through, where this whole range, we can slowly travel up, but this is an empty space where we get a lot of weakness, and that is where resistance begins. But you're going to probably say, but Mike, look, this is not that much resistance in comparison to even here or here. I get it, but after a nice travel to the upside all the way up there, there's a good chance that the bears are going to want to step in, and even that the bulls might want to take some profit. You got to understand that we're talking about a range, we're talking about a general area. that is going to provide a lot of opportunity to make rewards based on the little risk that you're taking. I just want to quickly measure from this general area to here, guys. You see the percentages: 267% just range high, not even a breakout. Let's talk about exiting this level. Modestly speaking, 1,000%, guys. I know it sounds moon boyish. I know it sounds crazy, but crypto's crazy. Let's be real about that. And it could definitely happen. And I'm not even talking about price discovery. None of that. I'm not even talking about price discovery, all-time highs, none of that. If we even exit pump, just to get through this imbalance and hit this target, which would bring us to about 20 cents, more or less, right? And if we can exit the 6 cent zone, more or less. Let me just change the color of this guy so we know, it's a little bit of resistance. What we're looking for is resistance. I don't know why I opened those options like that, but that's fine. Resistance. At the end of the day, that's the resistance. And if we can get to that level, guys, you're telling me you won't be happy with that punt. And why I'm calling it a punt is because, again, based on this chart, floor price achieved. I don't see much sell pressure anymore. The reality is these have been pump and dumps. Pump and dumps. What I mean by that is people pumping up, getting inducement, and the people that are causing this price action are trading based on the fact that they want to accumulate. Right? They're inducing individuals to get in on a breakout, and they sell, and then they buy it back in here. They buy and sell, and they're packing bags. They're packing their bags through trading the range, and they're packing their bags through people's, unfortunately, people's losses. And this is what happens until their bags are full, until we actually break out and move to the upside. Now, I just want to make it clear that at this level, I am worried about a move that causes a bit of manipulation, but more importantly, comes down and sweeps these lows. And because I can imagine how many stop losses are under here. You know how many people are putting stop losses underneath there? A lot. Okay, even if they're trying to front run, and this is why I'm here making the video, because this is an ideal scenario to get into a long position, lock and load, and walk away. However, what are you going to do with it? 100x leverage long, guys? That's dangerous, because even if we start zooming in, right, you start looking at, there is price action to play here. The price action, in fact, is what about if we do sweep these range lows and we do come down to this level? You do see the percentage to the downside. That's a 50% move to the downside, and it could happen and sweep those lows. However, the reward, guys, obviously, we're looking at the reward, we're looking at range highs, and ultimately what we're worried about is if we do sweep below, we get stuck into the abyss and start falling. But it doesn't matter, because your risk management is definitely easy to come up with an easy play. For example, let me just quickly get this going. You put your stop loss into here, whatever, we'll slap it right into there for now. Nothing, it doesn't have to be totally perfect at this moment. But you can see what I'm trying to get to is my point. Sorry, guys. Let's get my point. My point is this. What about just like that? Look at the risk to reward ratio. And I'm modest, this sweep, this bottom, we put your stop loss here, hang out. You can even make it a little tighter, but you know how the market makers do. They come down for that inducement, that quick sweep, that liquidity grab, that hunt. And then, especially after a bit of an accumulation range right here, we can have accumulation, right? Manipulation, back above, back test, and spring distribution. And then at the end of the day, guys, that's your opportunity, obviously, here to get in with more aggression. What I would be doing is considering this a great spot opportunity for a punt. Buying in right here, or a 2x leverage long, 3x maximum. 2x is okay because, 50% dip with a bit of margin, you can avoid liquidation with 2x, but at least you're doubling your position size. And then once we break back above and back test, or at least close the daily candle, you can reintroduce more leverage or more position size in order to gain more exposure to the upside. Because after it gets back into the range, it's very likely that we test range highs. But again, guys, it doesn't have to produce this. We don't have to get into this scenario. We could definitely respect the horizontal and bounce right off this area and definitely go to this one shot without coming down for that inducement or that sweep. This doesn't have to happen. It happens often, guys, but it doesn't have to happen. So this is why I usually, when I see these types of levels, I'm like, let's start getting our feet wet. Let's start getting some exposure on spot and maximum 2x longs. Because ultimately, if GALA, as the larger cap altcoin in the gaming narrative, attracts its fair share of liquidity first, even as an indicator, a leading indicator of a potential move, guys, it might be the one that attracts the capital first. And then from there, game on. We start looking for more gaming projects, lower caps, more, we start diversifying our portfolio, treating it almost like a leading indicator. Is Gala the one? Is the good leading indicator that people are going to start piling in first? Well, risk to reward ratio is at its best. There's no better risk to reward ratio than you're going to get here on this chart. You can see the invalidation super clear. And if we can break above the 6 cent zone, guys, we're moving much higher into the imbalance and starting to look for resistance at 20 cents. Very clear. And then after that, who knows? Who cares? Ultimately, Gala's did its job. But this is looking primed and looking great. Let's take a look at oscillators. As you guys know, Synergy Signals, the oscillator of choice here on the channel. If you want to know more about it, check out the links are in the description. It's a custom oscillator, obviously, that has been navigating this market very, very well. And as you can see, as it hangs out in the chop zone, you can see momentum stuck in the chop zone. There is no volatility at the current moment that is trending. All volatility is within the sideways channel, which is not great unless you're going to trade this range. I'm compelled to get onto the 4-day. I want to see how that looks. Ooh, this looks interesting because was this the reset? Is that the final reset? We reset here. We reset here. You can see this one got really oversold, less oversold, even less oversold, but price action pretty much went sideways. That's divergence, guys. That's class B bullish divergence. I'm curious how the weekly looks. Look how flatline this is right here. Low, higher low, higher low. Do we eventually start moving to the upside? I can see this volatility line looking very confused. Look at the orange line, guys. This thing looks so confused. It doesn't know where to go. It's kind of interesting to me because literally this is where it seems like a lot of manipulation. I want to quickly show you something. Look at the background. Look at this expansion and compare all the expansions in the back, the red ones. This one, this one, this one, this one. Do you see what's really happening? Each bearish response is getting weaker and weaker over time, which means that as this is happening, the bears are losing their grip over making lower lows. And at any moment, we can get a bullish response where we make our first move to the upside that produces a higher high. I would love to see the volatility or the trend oscillator in the bullish control zone. That's something that would be super interesting. Now, I'm on the weekly, guys, and the only reason why is because the market structure on the weekly makes most sense, right? Like if you think about it, what's the difference between the weekly time frame and the daily and the hourly? Really, it's this range that matters most. And the weekly is giving me everything I need. Look at this range low on the weekly that's going sideways with good volume, and momentum is slowly shifting to the upside, and to the point that trend oscillator right now is trying to get into bullish control zone, and these expansions got a slight divergence move to the upside, looking pretty good, right? You can see Gala fought to get back to these levels. Right into here, they did have a little bit of FUD last cycle. I think they resolved it. Honestly, I don't even know, but it does look like they resolved. It's so old news that, sometimes you just got to move on and get over it. But you can see that it's battling to get into the bullish control zone. Once we get the expansions to the upside, Gala's going to move. And then it's going to be too late. So a punt is definitely worth it because range lows is very clear. The risk to reward is very clear, and you can see the whole setup is very, very clear. It's a bit of a punt, but definitely worth it. All right, guys, we did pretty good. Guys, if I've offered you any value in this video, do the channel a massive favor. Slap the like button. It does really help out with the algorithm. If you want to follow me on the socials, the links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. Take care, guys. Have a good one. And don't forget, buy the dip.